Hi everyone. I hope you're doing good and staying safe at your homes. Today I wanted to touch base with you with a very important topic, which is options. We all have heard about options. They are basically options to buy or sell. So normally you hear them as put and calls, right? When you talk to a trader or you're yourself trading, it's called a right to buy is called a call option, and a right to sell is called a put option. So we are going to discuss this topic in detail, but before I begin, let me tell you that they are extremely speculative instruments, and you should only invest very little portion of your wealth if you are a retail investor into options. And you should not regret losing that money, because either options are very binary. Either they give you a lot of return, and if you are betting on the right side, I would call it betting because it's that speculative. You may have your reasons to take a speculative move, but at the end of the day, since the nature of the instrument is such that you either win all or lose all, and there are various shades in between, but generally it's you make a lot of money or you lose a lot of money in options. So I would advise, if you're a retail investor, to either not invest or invest quite a small portion which you can afford to lose in the long run in options. So before we dive in, as I told you, options are what they, by the namesake, options. So you're not selling or buying anything. It's a right to buy or sell at a later date. So a call option is a right to buy, and a put option is a right to sell. So let's start putting it on paper. So a call option, I will come to this screen later when I tell you about the options, how to trade them, but let's put our thoughts down. Yeah, a call option is a right to buy, and a put option is a right to sell. We'll go into detail. Before going into detail, let's talk about them. So when you want to buy something and you find it, that you want to take the journey of buying that asset, but you really don't want to buy that asset. So what you do is you can buy a call option. Now a call option is a right to buy at a certain price. That certain price is called a strike price. Okay, so every option has something called a strike price. We'll call it SP here. That's a strike price. This is the price at which you have agreed for a right to buy or sell. In call option you have agreed for a right to buy, and a put option you have agreed for a right to sell. Now you may not want to hold something in your portfolio, but you want to enjoy the rise, and what you pay to get an option is called a premium. So I'll put it down. This is another term that you should know, that you pay a premium to buy a option. Now that premium is a small percentage or a small number compared to the value of that stock or that option or that asset, and that's why option lets you enjoy the benefit of owning a asset without paying the full price of that asset. And there is a risk as well, and I'll get into that. But I hope this is clear that it's a right and it's not an obligation. You are not supposed to buy it in the future. You can square off your option, and if it's too technical for you to understand squaring of an option and all right now, don't worry, I'll take that also while we go through the relevant parts. So our option is a right to buy or sell. Call option right to buy, put option right to sell. There is a premium you basically pay to buy the option, and there is a strike price at which your option becomes in the money. I'll tell you all that as well. So let's say you want to buy, and before I dive into how you should buy and when you should buy a call option, when you should buy a put option, let me show you a screen from my trading window. I trade primarily on Sharekhan, which is a Indian, now acquired by BNP Paribas, so now a French company. So I trade on their trading platform, and I'll show you where to see what is trading at what, and where to see the strike price, the concepts we have discussed till now. So switching to that window, now this is a basic screen that your broker gives you, and you can see that there are things like open interest, volume, this is volatility, we'll not go into that, then last traded price, percentage change, bid quantity, bid price, ask quantity. Now this is the strike price, right? And I have opened a Nifty option. There are so many options, there are a lot of stocks that have options on them. These are generally high liquidity stocks on which speculative trading can be done. And then you have indices like Bank Nifty, or the Nifty that you can, and then there is a expiry date. Now the expiry date here, you may see a lot of expiry dates, but generally the first three would be the actively traded ones. So if I go somewhere down here, you will not see any activity happening because that option has not started trading. So now you see 2nd July expiry options, which is today I'm making this on 1st July. So these are the options due to expire tomorrow, and you see the strike price, right? And this side is the call side, this is the call side, and this side is the put side. So whether you are buying calls, then you have to look on this side. If you're buying puts, you have to look on this side. Now say you want to buy a call option with a strike price of 10300. So 10300, and you come to the call side, you check this and you place an order wherever your order tab is, right? So in this case your order tab can be anywhere. So in our case, the order tab is right here, place order. So we place an order. Now I'll try to explain you this. Now we are buying a Nifty 2nd July 2020 option, as you can see on your screen. Its strike price is 10,300. Its price is 137 rupees, which means you have to pay 137 rupees premium right now to buy this option. Now you have an option to buy, sell. We are buying. There is a term called lot size, which is important to understand in options. So I'll put it here, and when we come to this, we'll discuss that as well. There is something called a lot, right, that we have to discuss with respect to options. Now what a lot means essentially is that is the minimum number of options you can buy. So as you can see on your screen, it's 75 in this case. So what you will be paying essentially is 75 multiplied by the premium per option. So you're buying 75 options, each with a premium of 137 rupees, and whatever will be the total will be paid, and you have to enter your password and you can buy. So this is how you buy, but let's understand why something is priced at what it is priced at. So this is for tomorrow. Let's go to say the next expiry date, which is 9th July, and currently Nifty is at 10430, right? And there is 1 week to 9th July, or about 8 days to 9th July. If you talk about trading days, not many are left, like 6 trading days or 5 trading days are left till 9th July. And you look at the current Nifty level, it's 10,430. Now if I look at the strike price of 10,400 option, the call price, the call premium is 153 rupees. So what it essentially tells you that you have to pay 153 rupees for a 10,400 call option, which is a right to buy at 10,400. So if the Nifty goes higher than 10,400, your option will be called in the money. So your option will be called in the money, and we'll just put this term as well there so that we can discuss that in detail. Your option can either be in the money or out of the money, so we will discuss that, and I'm putting the term here, in the money and out of the money, right? So we'll discuss this as well. Now so if the price continues to rise and it goes well beyond 10,400, you stand to make money because you have bought an option which has a strike price of 10,400. But see, you have paid something also, 153 rupees per option. So it will not give you a return as soon as it goes above 10,400, if not a lot of time is left towards expiry. So our option is basically made of two types of values. One is a time value, and one is a intrinsic value. Now how to understand that is, I'll just put it down simply here, and let's move this a little to the right. Yeah, and let's move this, let's move this a little to the right. Yeah, and let's put the equation here. I'm good with any pen. Yeah, so the value of option is equal to the time value, so how much time is left till expiry, and the intrinsic value. Now intrinsic value is simple. Intrinsic value is the difference between the current price and your strike price. So if your price is higher than the strike price, and if you have a call option, then you are in the money, so you will have an intrinsic value to the option. And if a lot of time is left to expiry, like we saw 8 days were left in our kind of example, if 8 days are left, then of course there will be some time value also. So the value of option, which is the premium paid, will have both of these. So let's take an example. I'm moving this again to the right. Yeah, let's take an example. Say you buy an option, a call option, at a strike price of 100, right? Okay, and current price is 105. Okay, current Nifty or whatever you are benchmarking against. So what is the intrinsic value? You have a call option and the current price is higher than strike price, right? So you have an intrinsic value to the option of 5, which is 105 minus 100, right? So there is an intrinsic value. Say there are 10 days left to expiry, right? So there will be a time value as well. So let the time value be 2. Okay, so the total value of option is 5 plus 2, 7. This is the total value of option, and this is the premium you will pay today to buy an option with a strike price of 100 and a current price of 105. So what you are essentially doing, since it's a call option, you are buying a right to buy at 100 something which is already 105 and still has 10 days to go. So this 105 can become 125 in these 10 days, or it can become 95, but there is a chance that it will become higher. So you are paying 7 rupees instead of 5 rupees. You can obviously buy it from the market at 105. But what is the difference? As I initially told you in the video, that you are not paying 105 rupees. Say you don't have 105 rupees, you only have 7 rupees, but you want to enjoy the benefit of owning this asset. So you are paying this 7 rupees and you are enjoying the benefit of having this asset in your portfolio. Now, if this goes up, if this current price goes to 125, you have a right to sell at, right to buy at 100. Something which is available at 125 in the market. So your time value at that time, your intrinsic value at that time is 25, and say 2 days are left still. So you will have 25 rupees intrinsic value, and say 1 rupee of time value, 26 rupees. And what you bought it at was 7. Now if you sell this option, your 7 rupees are going to become 26, which is a humongous profit. You are almost doing 270% profit on 7 rupees, 270 to 300% profit. 300 would be 28 rupees. So you are 270% profit. Or if this goes down to 95, you have a right to buy at 100. There is no use of this right because it is available in the market at 95. So who will use this call option? Nobody, because it's available at cheaper in the market. There is no need to use this call option. So the call option will expire at 0, and if you sell somewhere in between, you can recover some money, but you would have lost 100% of your value. Okay, so I hope this example is clear in explaining you what call and put options, call option is, and what are the dynamics of the call option. And we can look at why we should buy a call option, and do retail investors only use options, or do corporates and large groups also use options. I'll get into that now. So since the call option, you understand the strike price, the premium, what is there to win, what is there to lose in case of option. Let's look at both the call option and put option using a graph. And first let me take you through the put option in the same way as we did the call option. Let me just clean this. Okay, let's move a bit on the right. No, I don't want to move you, thank you. Let's move a bit on the right. Let's talk about a put option now. Put option is a right to sell, as we spoke, right? So if you want to get the advantage of selling something without actually selling it, you can own a put option on that. So put option, there is a strike price. Say the strike price is again 100, current price is 100 and so 95 say, and you buy a put option. The value of put option is time value plus intrinsic value. Intrinsic value in this case will be reverse because you are selling. So this will be basically strike price minus the price you pay, the current price, which is basically 100 minus 95, which is equal to 5. So there is a value of 5 in this option already. Now why is that? Because you are getting an option to sell this at 100, while in the market it is selling only at 95. So there is a value to it, right? Because in the market you can sell only at 95, but if you have this option you can sell it at 100. Now time value, as I told you, will depend on number of days to expiry. Say there are 10 days to expiry and the time value is 2 rupees. So you will again spend 7 rupees, 5 and 2. This sum you will be spending to buy this put option. Say now the current price goes to 92. What will be my intrinsic value? SP minus CP. It will be, so I hope you can see this. Yeah, you can see this. I'm on the corner edge, but you can see it is basically 100 minus 92, which is 8, and says there are still 5 days left to expiry and there is a time value of 1.5. So there is total 9.5, 8 and 1.5. So you bought it at 7, you are selling, you can now sell it at 9.5. There is a 2.5 benefit gain to you, which is about 35% benefit, right? So that's how it is. But in case the current price had increased to 100, there is no intrinsic value, because the current price is 100, the strike price is 100. There is no value to this option. Why should I buy a right to sell something at 100 when it is already selling at 100 in the market? And say there is some time left. Say there is again 5 days left and 1.5 rupee value. So the total value of option is 1.5, and from 7 you have come down to 1.5. You have almost lost 80% of your wealth. So that's how options operate. So we have discussed both the put option and the call option through an example. Now we will try to put it on a graph and try to explain to you how it looks, why there is an unlimited gain potential in a call option, and both in a call option and a put option, and how we've already seen how you can buy and sell. And let's see on graph, and then we'll discuss why corporates and large groups also use options. Now coming back to my whiteboard, yeah, I'll just move this to the right again, and we'll talk about how does a put graph look and how does a call graph look. So if you have a call option, you've bought a call option, you have paid a premium. So say you have paid those 7 rupees that we discussed. So you are already negative, right? And this is the current price line. Okay, so this is the current price, and somewhere in between is the strike price. We had a strike price of 100, so let's put it 100. We have a call option with a strike price of 100. Now if the price is below 100, obviously there is no value to this option, because it gives you a right to buy at 100. Now if it's selling at 93 here, obviously the option is of no use. You have already lost 7 rupees in buying the option, and the option is of no use. But above 100, what happens is it starts getting, you know, in the green. It'll reach the green somewhere here, and then it will continue to be in the green, and these are all my profits, right? So if the current price is 125, as we saw, we are, you know, gaining a lot. We are gaining 25 rupees in the intrinsic value, and there is a lot of time left. Then we are also gaining 2 to 3 rupees in time value. We are gaining 27 to 28 rupees from an investment of 7 rupees. So we are gaining here. So this is the call option graph. So after strike price, the premium starts getting recovered, and then it comes in the money. So from this point onwards, this is in the money, right? This is a concept that we discussed, in the money. And before this place, it was out of the money, because we were losing money, the premium, right? So this is the call graph. Now similarly, looking at the put graph, put works in the reverse way. So if you have bought a put, say this is the current price line, this is the strike price of 100. Anything above this, the option has no value, because you have a right to sell at 100, right? So it has no value. You lose your premium. So this is the premium you paid, 7 rupees. It's all lost, and it's all out of the money here, out of money. And but if the price is lower than 100, then we start recovering our premium, and somewhere we start making money, right? And if the price becomes, say, 75, there is already an intrinsic value of 25, which is intrinsic value of 25, IV of 25, which is 100 minus 75, because now you have a right to sell at 100 something which is at 75 in the market. So you are gaining 25, right? And then there could be a time value of, say, 2 rupees or 4 rupees or 5 rupees, and your total is 27 to 28. Again, this is a neat profit of 300+%, around 300% on your 7 rupee investment, right? Obviously this 7 rupee will be, if this is the actual price of option, it will be multiplied by the lot size to calculate what you actually need to buy these options, right? Which we saw when we were seeing the trading screen. So this is how a put graph looks. So if you speculate that the price of something is going to fall, then you can buy the put option. And if you speculate the price of something, of any asset, is going to rise, then you can buy the call option. It gives you the benefit of owning that asset to enjoy the gains without really spending the whole asset value, and also to lose little if it goes down, but you can lose your own entire wealth. And that's why it is recommended not to play in options with all your capital and very less percentage, a percentage that you can afford losing, which can become zero for you. Only that percentage needs to be put into derivatives, and these are called derivatives. Options are a type of derivatives. Derivatives are instruments which derive their value from the underlying. As you can see, put and call options are deriving their value from the share value and or the index value in case of Nifty. So that's about it for the retail investors, but let me tell you how corporates use it. So there are a lot of derivatives. There are currency derivatives, there are commodity derivatives. Now this was like more on stock and index derivatives, put and call options. So a lot of people use it in different ways, and corporates basically try to hedge in case they are using commodity derivatives and they have to buy something tomorrow, but they want to fix that price today. So they will buy a call option on that. So say a company, say Cargill or any other commodity company, wants to buy wheat in the future, and they are expecting the prices to go up really high, but they don't want to buy today. They want to buy 6 months from now or 3 months from now. They'll buy a call option today, so that they fix the buying price. They have a right to buy at the strike price. So even if the price goes up tomorrow, they will be buying at the price fixed today. Similarly, there are a lot of companies which hold a lot of oil. They are holding it, they have to sell it. And there is a lot of volatility in oil market, as we all know, and we've already seen right now where the crude, per barrel is. So they want to lock in a selling price. So how do you lock in a selling price? You basically buy a put option, because you have a right to sell at a certain price. If a price falls below that level also, you are able to sell at the higher price, which is the strike price. So that's how corporates use. And there are multiple other ways. There are currency kind of hedgings. There are hedgings in the stock markets that corporates do to protect, various interests and control various risks. So a lot of risk analysts and risk managers at these companies manage the risk of the company at various levels and at various times using these instruments. I hope this session was helpful for you. You now know how to trade them. You now know how to buy, call, put options. Now we've just discussed buying them. There is also a concept of selling them or shorting options, but that's more technical in nature. We can discuss them later on. But we have discussed on how to buy them and what are the dynamics of a put option and a call option, and how you can make money through it. And we've also discussed that you have to be extremely careful with your wealth when you are investing in derivatives, and always put smaller portions in derivatives of your whole portfolio. So stay safe, both in COVID times and also in the world of investing. And if you like my content, please do like, subscribe to this channel, press the bell icon, and whatever I upload will come to you directly. Thanks a lot for your time, and wish you all the best with trading and your investments. Thanks a lot.